Namaste Guruji.
Namahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Shrutismritipurananamalayam karunalayam namami bhagavatpadam shankaram lokashankaram shankaram shankaracharyam keshavam badarayanam sutra bhashyakritau vande bhagavantau punah punah Ishvaro gururatmeti murti bheda vibhagine vyomabhat vyapta dehaya dakshinamurtaye namah. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Satchidanandarupaya Krishnaya Klishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedyaya Gurave Buddhisakshine Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Sarvalokahite Ratam Vedabja Bhaskaram Vande Shamadhi Nilayam Munim Sahasramurte Purushottamasya Sahasranetra Nanapada Baho Sahasranamam Stavanam Prashastam Niruchyate Janma Jaradi Shantyai. Namaste once again, all of you.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaskaram Guru. Namaskaram Guruji.
Namaskaram. So after seeing a very detailed explanation of the meaning of the word Vishwam, which is the very first word occurring in the 1000 names of Vishnu Sahasranamam. Adi Shankara now takes us to the second Nama, which we entered, briefly saw towards the end of last class, which is Vishnu. And this word Vishnu we have come across a lot of times, and we also know that the meaning of the word Vishnu is the one who is all pervading, who pervades everything. This we have seen many times. So interestingly, here Adi Shankara starts the explanation of this, the meaning of this word, with a question. Now, the one who has actually heard and understood the meaning of Vishwam, there is one entity who is called Vishwam and who has been described in the previous explanation in a very elaborate manner. There will be a question, who is that entity? In any student's mind, we are talking about a Vishwam. He is Vishwam, he has created the world, so he has, that is why he is called Vishwam. So many reasons we gave, and then Om we saw. Om is Vishwam. Who is this? Whom does these words represent? So Adi Shankara answers that the answer is Vishnu. Vishnu, simple meaning is the one who pervades everything. Okay. And he quotes a mantra from Rig Veda. And as I said in the last class, he explains that as per the Rig Veda mantra, where it is said that before one leaves this mortal body, one should gain the complete knowledge of the absolute reality, the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, by doing the Nama Sankirtanam of Vishnu with full understanding. Full understanding of the meaning of all the Namas. This is said in Rig Veda. So which means that one should use this precious very rare human life to acquire and assimilate this knowledge, the self-knowledge, the knowledge of the non-dual Brahman, and the knowledge of the self, and eventually the knowledge that there is no difference but between the non-dual Brahman and the self. This knowledge, this Aham Brahmasmi knowledge, one should acquire, assimilate. And that is what will give moksha. So this is the Rig Veda mantra, it says. And after that, Adi Shankara goes on to explain this Vishnu from two perspectives. One perspective is because this word Vishnu is derived from a dhatu or a verb called vish in Sanskrit language. Thus, this dhatu or this verb called verb vish has got two meanings. One meaning is vyapana, the one who pervades. Another meaning is entry, enter, the one who enters. So both the meanings are there for this word vish. So Adi Shankara explained how this Lord is called Vishnu from both the perspectives, and he does this with the support of the mantras from Upanishads. So taking the first meaning, he says that Vishnu is one who pervades this entire Vishwam, who pervades everything in this entire cosmos, and who is free from the limitations of time, space, and object.
Where is he? Don't close it. You long come in. I said don't close it, but without lock.
I request everybody to please mute yourself when the talk is going on. By mistake, if you unmute, then all your private conversations can be heard by everyone, which I'm sure you don't want. So as I was saying, that this Lord, Supreme Lord, is free from all limitations of time, space, and object. That is what limitlessness means. That is what all-pervading means, right? And for this, he quotes a shloka from Mahabharata and also an Upanishad called Atmopanishad. Atma Bodhopanishad, that Upanishad is called. And then he goes on to quote a mantra from Mahanarayana Upanishad. Yaccha kinchit jagat sarvam drishyate shruyate piva antar bahischa tat sarvam vyapya narayana stitah. This is there in Narayana Upanishad. It is also there in Narayana Sutta. This mantra is there. The meaning, simple meaning of this mantra is Yaccha kinchit jagat sarvam drishyate shruyate apiva. All that is seen and heard in this entire universe, antar bahischa tat sarvam, what is inside and what is outside of everything is nothing but that Lord Narayana. He pervades everything. It is the mantra from Mahanarayana Upanishad, which Adi Shankara quotes to support the meaning of Vishnu as all-pervading. So this is one meaning he deals with. Second one, he says Vish Praveshane, to enter. There is a meaning called to enter. So there he says, he quotes from Taittiriya Upanishad. Idagum sarvam asurjitam tat sruštva tadeva nupravishat tadanupraveshya. This is Taittiriya Upanishad. See, anupravesha is called a very famous mantra. It is called Anupravesha mantra. And I think I told you in one of the earlier classes, Adi Shankara has, while commenting on Taittiriya Upanishad, he has justified this Anupravesham, the Lord entering this world. Because many people, they find fault. I am
Yeah.
everybody, somebody is unmuting themselves again and again. Whoever it is, please, my humble request, be conscious when you are in the class. Otherwise, you can exit and then later on when you are free, you can join the class. What you are doing is disturbing me and my flow of thoughts. Please have some respect for the the learning that we are doing. If you can't spare 1 hour of your time in a week for this class, what is the purpose of your attending the class? And this is happening second time here after my requesting earlier. So be aware. Otherwise, you please, sign out now, attend to all your personal things. And if you find the time and inclination, join the class back. Because I cannot stand anybody disrespecting our scriptures, our culture, and our learning. And this kind of, attending to 100 things at the same time when you are attending the class is showing total disrespect to this teaching and this learning. You are just wasting your time sitting here and doing it. You might as well go and do, all your Laukika, matters, attend to Laukika matters. You are wasting your time, you are wasting other students' time also. I'm sorry, I'm being little harsh, because this is one thing which I cannot tolerate. Somebody sitting in the class and not bothering to follow the class discipline. I don't need such students at all. Other students also don't need. I am keeping on muting everybody, and somebody is unmuting and their conversation is heard everywhere. I right now again muted and I don't want to unmute. If somebody is unmuted, I will check who it is and then I will make sure that that person exists this class. So as I was telling you, this mantra is there in Taittiriya Upanishad, and Adi Shankara has dealt with this mantra in a very, very detailed manner. Because there are criticisms of Advaita Vedanta, they point out to this mantra, saying that when the world was created, there was no Brahman. And Brahman afterwards entered the world. This is one argument by the opponents of Advaita Siddhanta they make. So Adi Shankara explains what this the word entry means. Praveshanam, what it means. He explains, and again based upon Sanskrit grammar and all that, he explains there. We won't go into the details. So this Vish Praveshane is the second meaning, which he takes and says that after creating this world, by the creator himself, he as if entered. As if is very important. It's a figurative speech. Entering the world is a figurative speech. Means what? He is available for recognition in each and everything in this world. He is not limited by any object in this world. Every object in this world, every being in this world is nothing but a name and form of that Supreme Lord only. So this is what this Vishnu word means. So these two meanings he gives rather. Okay. And this interpretation is also supported by a sloka in Vishnu Purana. Yasmat Vishtamidam Sarvam Tasya Shaktya Mahatmanah Tasman Devojyate Vishnuho Visherdhato Praveshanat. That sloka specifically takes the meaning of Vish Dhatu as Praveshana. Vish Praveshane meaning is taken there. So from both these angles, Adi Shankara, by quoting all these slokas, says that the root Vish also has the meaning of entry, And since the entire Jagat is entered into by the Supreme Lord, he is available for recognition in this entire Jagat. He is also pervades this entire Jagat with his Shakti. And what is the Lord Shakti? Nothing but Ishwara's order. The order which he maintains with the help of Maya. So both these meanings is there for Vishnu. So whenever we chant the name Vishnu, this entire thing, every object of this world, every being of this world should come in our visualization, because that is everything represents the Lord only. Rather, there is nothing other than the Lord in this entire world. So this is the meaning of the word Vishnu. Then the third one, Vashatkaraha. Now, Vashatkaraha literally means the one who is invoked through Vashat. Vashat is a special mantra in the Vedas. It's a technical word and it is used in the fire rituals, in Homam and all that, Yajna and all we do. This Vashat is used. There's a Kara Pratyaya, Sanskrit term, Kara Pratyaya, which is added to Vashat and makes it Vashatkara. So in the fire ritual, there is an oblation offered to the fire, any particular deity. It could be even Agni Devata or any other Devata. Because whenever we are offering oblations in the fire to the Agni Devata, the intention is that Agni Devata is the courier service. Whatever oblation prayer that we are offering, Agni Devata will take and reach it to the respective Devatas to whom we are offering. That is how the Homam is to be understood. Homam or Yajnas to be understood. So this is done with a mantra, particular mantra. And any ritual is done for a particular purpose. And generally, we must have seen that these mantras, these oblations are offered with the word Swaha. Agnaye Swaha, Agnaya Idam Namama. So many homams and all we do, we would have seen Prajapataye Swaha, Prajapataye Idam Namama. So all this Swaha is a word which is used for indicating our intention to offer this oblation to a particular deity through Agni. And this word Vashat also is used in the similar sense. Swaha or Vashat can be used, even though normally we have seen only Swaha, but big yajnas and all that, this Vashat is also used. Okay. So when we say Idam Namama means this, I have offered it to that particular deity, it no longer belongs to me. It is no longer mine. Idam na mama, not mine. And this word Adi Shankara interprets it in different ways. And he says that in whatever way we see, it refers to Parameshwara only. The word Vashat refers to Parameshwara only. So what he starts by saying, Yad Uddeshena Adhvare Vashat Kriyate Sa Vashatkaraha. The deity to whom the oblation is offered by saying Vashat is called Vashatkara. And all the deities, Devatas are nothing but Parameshwara. When we say everything is Parameshwara, the Devatas are also included in that. They are also Parameshwara only. It can be any Devata. It can be Agni Devata. Agni Devata is the Devata of speech. Vak Devata. Agni Devata is the Devata who is the Lord ruling over our speech faculty. Similarly, Indra Devata rules over our strength. Indra Devata. Then we have got Soma Devata, our mind. Devata for the mind.
Class.
Mr. Shankar,
Yes, please.
you have unmuted yourself. Can you
No,
please?
mine is mute only.
No, my screen is showing you are unmuted and your voice, your talk, background voice is all being heard.
Sorry, I'm sorry. There is some problem with my jack, I think. I'll connect it.
Please
It is
fix
mute.
it.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
getting unmuted again and again, and we are
It is-
disturbed because of that. Please.
Mine is muted only here. My screen
But
shows
I
mute.
can see you unmuted on my screen with your voice, going
Oh,
up.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know how.
something
Okay,
wrong with
I'm in
this.
a separate room. Everything closed.
But we are hearing.
I'm
some
sorry. Let me see.
Background voice is there. Some ladies' sound I just now heard, and that's why I checked. And yours is the only one which is unmuted as per my screen.
Sorry, doctor. Sorry.
Please. Yeah, now it is muted. Again and again, you have to recall the whole thing. What happened? The moment you get disturbed, especially when in talks, the mind goes off and then you have to bring it back. Okay. Anyhow, in fact, I was about to say, in Rudram, in the Ragunyasa, this is all explained very well. Which Devata is the ruling Devata, ruling deity for which faculty? Prajanane Brahma Tishtato, Padhayor Vishnustishtato, Hastayor Arastishtato. Even before that also there is a mantra. Agnirme Vachisritaha Vaghrdaye Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrute Amritam Brahmani Vayurme Prane Sritaha. The Vayu Devata is the ruling Devata of our pranas. Disho me srotre srita. Dik Devata is the Devata for our hearing faculty. So like that it is given. Lot of all Devatas name which faculty. And this is Lagunyasa and this is Nyasa. So you have to visualize all those Devatas in your own body. When you visualize all the Devatas in your body, in different parts of your body, what happens? You are visualizing yourself as Parameshwara. And visualizing yourself as Parameshwara, you are actually offering your prayers to Parameshwara. The non-difference, there is no difference between me who has visualized himself as Parameshwara and the Supreme Lord who is Parameshwara. So there is no problem if I offer my prayers to him. We are equals. Offering prayer is nothing but as equals you are saying Namaskara to Parameshwara. Like when we meet each other, we are saying Namaskaram. Isn't it? So this is the beautiful idea behind our entire culture. So here this word Vashat, he says that it represents all the Devatas to whomsoever we are offering any oblation by saying the word Vashat. So Vashatkara hai. So even when we actually say that each part of our body is represented by a Devata, when we talk of a Jiva, which part we are referring to? Are we referring to any particular part of our body? Jiva means an individual, right? When you say I, what are you referring to? Are you referring to your head, your neck, or your eyes, or your hands, or your legs? We refer to the entire body, all parts of the body. Isn't it? Pujya Swamiji explains it very nicely in his book. He says, when a little finger is touched, it is not that only that part of the person is touched, right? But the complete attention of that person is drawn to the little finger. We can see this, many times in our homes. The husband and wife have got some misunderstanding. They are not on talking terms to each other, right? And they are sitting in a dining table next to each other, about to have the food. One of them, either the husband or the wife, wants to now make up. They feel that it's not nice. So what the person will do, likely to do rather, not necessarily always, he'll go and touch the other person's finger as a gesture of, saying, okay, I have forgotten, I am now prepared to touch you. But the other person will say, react, don't touch me. Take away the hand, don't touch me. But he is still angry. He or she is still angry, right? What does it mean? This fellow or this person has touched only the finger. But what is the reaction? Don't touch me. So when we say, when a finger is touched and referred to as touch me, we say, that means every part of our body represents the whole self. Is what we must understand. So like that, I gave the example in the last class also, which I am writing. Actually, the hand is writing, but we say I am writing. So the whole is contained in every part. So that is the, way that we have to understand this. The Devata is there, Devatas are there in every part of the body, and cumulatively they are only one Parameshwara. So every Devata is Parameshwara, and that Parameshwara is Vishwa, we have seen. So the Devata who is invoked with this Vashat mantra is Parameshwara alone. That's what he says. So he said that even though the oblation is offered to a particular Devata, and it no doubt goes into the fire, the Agni Devata, still it finally goes only to the Parameshwara. Just as all water that comes from the sky falls on the earth, ultimately goes to the ocean only. Isn't it? Sarvadeva, similarly, Sarvadeva Namaskara Keshavam Pratigacchati. It goes only to Parameshwara. All the oblations that we give by using Swaha, Vashat, everything goes to Parameshwara. So all salutation goes to Parameshwara, and that is how Akashat Patitam Toyam Yata Gacchati Sagarah. Sarvadeva Namaskara Keshavam Pratigacchati. This is their mantra in our scriptures. Just like Akashat Patitam. Akashat means from the Akasha, from the sky. Patitam, falling. Toyam means water. Akashat Patitam Toyam Yata Gacchati Sagaram. Just like all that water eventually through rivers, through canals, whatever it is, eventually go and merge in the ocean. Like that, all oblations, all namaskaras, all prayers offered to any devata eventually goes to that Parameshwara only. If this is the case with the devatas, then what to talk of human beings who receive the namaskaras from others? They should, what their attitude should be when they receive the namaskara, that I am only a conduit. This namaskara which the other person is offering to me It is my duty to reach it to the Parameshwara. So that is why sannyasis and all, when you actually say namaskara or you do, Sashtanga namaskaram to them, they will say only Om or Hari Om, indicating that this namaskara which you are offering, I am sending it to Bhagavan. As human being, if you take me as a human being, I don't deserve any namaskara from one human being to another human being. But if you take me as a, as a Brahman, and you also as a Brahman, if you offering that namaskara in that with that attitude, then automatically the namaskara belongs to that Brahman, that Parameshwara, that Supreme Lord only. So this is the way we develop humility, which is a very, very important aspect of the spiritual pursuit. If a person doesn't have humility, he can never even take the first step in the spiritual pursuit. Minimum qualification required is a humility, a humbleness, he needs to have, a person needs to have, he or she needs to have. Then he says, Adi Shankara says, Yasmin yajne va vashat kriya sa vashatkaraha. So again, the same idea, he is repeating from somewhere else, some other mantra he is saying. So in which yajna is offered with the mantra Vashat, that is also Vishnu alone, he says. And for that, he quotes, because earlier he was talking about this Vashat being offered and with the word Vashat. Now he is talking about an yajna, the oblation offered in the yajna, because in Taittiriya Samhita there is a mantra Yajno vai Vishnuhu. So all yajnas are compared to or equated to Vishnu. So when you are offering an oblation yajna, it is like an oblation offered to Vishnu, and in that the word Vashat is used. So this is another context in which the word Vashat is used in yajnas. And here we have to just reflect back and understand the connection between karma and karma phala data. Because this karma phala, the results of all our karmas, they are all governed by a order. If this karma is there, this karma here, first word meaning of karma is action. If a person does this particular action, that action with a particular action with a particular motive, specific motive, that action will lead to a particular karma, a punya or papa. And the result of that punya papa, that person will have to experience either now or later on, or maybe in the future births. It will never ever go away. It will be added to his account. If a person does an action with a noble intention, then he will gain punya, and the benefit of that punya in terms of a happy experience, he will get it sometime or the other. Similarly, if a person does any action with a selfish motive, it's an adharmic motive, then that action will give result to papa, and that person will eventually at some time or the other experience the bad effects of that papa karma. This is what is the law of karma, very briefly stated. Now, any law, when we have, there has got to be somebody who actually understands that law and then dispenses justice. Isn't it? The whole constitution of India and all other laws, not any country, why India, any country, all the other laws are all there. And everybody is supposed to know the law of their land, wherever they are citizens. Because it says ignorance of law is no excuse. You are supposed to know what is the law of the land before you do commit any action, right? Whether that action is punishable, not punishable. Almost in every law, in every country, murder is a punishable law. One cannot say, I didn't know murder is punishable, so I committed a murder. Everybody is supposed to know murder. If you murder, it is punishable, isn't it? But still, even though the law is there, in order to maintain the order in the society and make the society abide by those laws, we require judges at various levels. Right up to the Supreme Court, we require judges who will read that law and interpret the law, look at all the facts and the circumstances of the case and dispense justice. So this entire universe is also similarly driven by a law and order. So many orders are there, physiological orders, astronomical orders, the whole cosmic order, to put it in one word. It consists of so many sub-orders. And there is a law governing all these things. There has got to be somebody who knows this law. In fact, who is the one who has created all these laws and created this order. And based upon the actions of the individuals, that somebody needs to dispense justice. And that is why we say Ishvara is the one who has created this whole order. He has created this law of karma. He is the trustee of this law of karma because it is his own creation. And he dispenses justice to the people based upon their actions, not based upon his own whims and fancies. Based upon their actions taken together with the facts and circumstances of each individual case, he will dispense justice. So all these things is all this Ishvara, Vishnu's law and order. And who is that Vishnu? He is nothing, nobody else than Parameshwara. So this Puja Swamiji gives the example of this Punya and Papa are like the tokens which are given in a gambling place, When people go, I don't know how many of you have been to Las Vegas, right? And gone and seen how gambling takes place in that wonderful place. I have seen it. So there, people do betting, but they don't keep the physical cash. They will actually pay cash in a place and then get tokens. The tokens, different color tokens, shape tokens and all are there, I think. They represent the cash and then they will gamble with that token. Then they will go and eventually whatever the token is left, they will go encash it, take the cash back and go away. Similarly, these Punya Papas and all are like tokens given to us. We will have to eventually encash them by way of either pleasant experiences or unpleasant experiences. That we can never ever escape. So, that connection between the karma phala and karma phala dhata, all these things, that is what is, they are all nothing but Parameshwara alone. So when we are talking about karma phala dhata and all that, we are all talking about only one thing, which is the order of Parameshwara, which is Parameshwara himself. There is no difference between the order of Parameshwara and Parameshwara. Parameshwara is the creator of this order, and that's why the order is Parameshwara. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a very, very famous sloka which in ashrams and all, they chant during, having food. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihe Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. It means what? When you are doing a yajna, a yaga, Brahmarpanam, that the spoon with which, the wooden spoon with which you are offering the ghee oblation is Brahman. The havis, that cooked rice which we offer into the fire is Brahman, Brahma Havihi. Brahmagna, the Agni into which these oblations are offered is also Brahman. So like that, everything is Brahman, because why? Everything is pervaded by Brahman. So everything is Brahman only. This is the beautiful idea which is conveyed. And Adi Shankara brings all that meaning into interpreting this word Vashat. Vashat as Parameshwara. Okay. Then again he says, Yena Vashatkaradi Mantratmana va Devan Prinayati sa Vashatkaraha. So the mantras like Vashat, by uttering which the Devatas are pleased, Prinayati, Devatas are pleased, those mantras, those utterances are also Parameshwara, they are also Bhagavan. So any Devata with same idea with different aspects of that idea. Adi Shankara's beauty is that he will not give a general explanation. He will go into each aspect of it, each phase of that meaning. So even though from a very general point of view, to us it may look like all being repeated again and again, but there are subtle differences in what is being said. So even Vashatkara Devata is a Devata. So when an oblation is offered to a Vashatkara Devata, that Devata also is Parameshwara. So we can take the word Vashat as meaning Parameshwara or Vishnu only. And then he quotes a very wonderful sloka from Vishnu Smriti. Chaturbhischa dvabhyam panchabhirevacha Huyate cha punardhvabhyam same Vishnu prasidatu. I won't go into the detailed explanation because I also don't know the many. What is Chaturbhischa and also very technical Vedic mantra it is. Right. So may Vishnu be pleased. What this mantra says is, may that Vishnu be pleased with me, the one who is worshipped with the 4-syllable Oshravaya. Okay. Again with the 4-syllabled Astush Sraushat. And then with the 2-syllabled Yaja. And the 5-syllabled Ye Yajamahe. And again with the 2-syllable Vashat. Now, none of us have got that kind of knowledge about the Vedic mantras and all like Adi Shankara had. Unfortunately, he is assuming that we also have. Even Puja Swamiji has not explained these things elaborately in his commentary. So all that I can tell you is, this is what this mantra, what this Chaturbhischa means. Chaturbhischa means 4-syllable, right? The 2 4-syllable. Then Dvabhyam, 2-syllable, Panchabhirevacha, 5-syllable. Huyate Punarcha Dvabhyam, again the 2-syllable comes. Same Vishnu Prasidatu. This is a mantra, the Veda mantra in Vishnu Smriti, it is coming rather. So this is the meaning of this word Vashat, means Parameshwara. If we have that knowledge, whenever we are saying Vashat, we can recall all these meanings. But at least we can just have the meaning that Vashat means Parameshwara because of these reasons. Offering is Vashat. We can just remember Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi. Everything is Parameshwara. So even the word Vashat, which occurs whenever we are offering oblations, is also Parameshwara only. So then the next nama is fourth one. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. The Lord of the past, present and future. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat. Bhuta is past, Bhavya is future, Bhavat is present. Prabhu means the Lord. This is the simple meaning. Bhutam Bhavyam Bhavaccha iti Bhuta Bhavya Bhavanti Tesham Prabhu Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Exactly what I explained right now. Vishnu is the Lord of all three time periods, past, present and future. When it is said that he is the Lord of the past, he doesn't become the past. When he is said he is Lord of the future, he doesn't become the future. It is not as if he was and now he is and then he will be. That meaning we must never take. The meaning we have to take is he is eternal. This Lord's presence in this entire cosmos is eternal. It was there, it is there, and it will be there. It is a continuum. Not in the sense of past means a time which has gone by, present is the present time, future is a time which will come. Not in that sense, which is what normally in English language we tend to understand. We should not understand it with that meaning, because time is within the Lord himself. He is the creator of time. Whether it is past, present or future is all our interpretation of time based upon our respective what we can call it, the point of reference. So, this point of reference of today, yesterday was past and tomorrow is future. But for the Lord, there is no past, present and future, because he is the creator of time. Time is within the Lord. Lord is not within the time. Lord pervades the whole time. So that is how we have to understand the Lord as Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. So Adi Shankara says the same thing. He says that he is the Lord of all three periods of time because he pervades. He actually transcends all the three periods of time. Bhagavan transcends all three periods of time. Why? Because he is of the nature of pure existence, pure consciousness and limitlessness. And pure consciousness is the consciousness. Was consciousness, is consciousness, will be, cannot be said at all. Consciousness is always has been there, will be there, and is there. It has been there always. Even before the whole world was created, time was created, space was created, all objects were created, consciousness was there. Brahman was there. Isn't it? So we have seen that. So this Adi Shankara points out that he transcends the time. That is why he is the Lord of the time. And in fact, Pujya Swamiji explains this very nicely in his commentary. What is time? He asks this question. He says time is a very great myth. Suppose you ask a question, what is X or Y doing? The answer will be he or she is cooking. Suppose this person is cooking, he or she is cooking. Now, when you say cooking, it refers to the present tense, right? Suppose it is 9 o'clock in the morning. You ask this question, what is that person doing? You say he is cooking. 9 o'clock cooking. From a 9 o'clock perspective, 10 o'clock is what? Future. And at 10 o'clock, you ask the same question, what will be the answer? He or she is cooking. Isn't it? So from the perspective of 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock was future, but from the perspective of 10 o'clock is present. So whether 10 o'clock is present or future, you tell me now. The action is same. Cooking is continuing. Cooking is the present tense. So whenever we talk of present tense, past tense, and future tense, the present was present in the past, and the present will be present in the future. So past, present, future, all these time differences are a myth. It is just our own superimposition on what is a time continuum. In the time, there is no such past, present, and future. We have superimposed certain things. This is past, this is present, this is future. It is our issue from a time perspective. It is a continuum. In fact, we have divided the time also into hours, minutes, and all that. Who has done that? We only have done that. 9 a.m., 10 a.m. and all that. Time itself does not have any such division. We are saying the sun sets and sun rises. Sun does not it is there only. We superimpose the rising and setting to the sun. So all these problems that we have created for ourselves and we got entrapped in these problems are all myths that we have created from the point of view of absolute reality. So, Swamiji gives another example. He says that you ask a question, what does your son-in-law do? And the answer is he is in real estate business, right? And this business he has been doing for the last 50 years. But still you say he is in real estate business. Means what? The all 50 years you are actually clubbing it into one present moment at this time. So he gives a lot of this explanation to establish when we talk of time, past, present, and future, we should not understand it. It is our own creation we have done, our own, because of our ignorance of the absolute reality. We have done all this mischief with our own life, rather. There is no such, if you look at, analyze time, you can't even, what is time? You say a movement. By the time you say movement, the movement is gone. It has become, when you say movement, the present movement, you say present movement. Now, by the time you say present movement, the present movement has become past movement. So this is how the whole concept of time is. And Bhagavan creates and, he withdraws this time always. When this Srishti is created, it is created in time. When the Srishti is withdrawn, it is withdrawn in time. And this time is the Lord of this time is Bhagavan. So he can control what happens with this time, what we call time. From a point of view of our scriptures, maximum we can attribute the meaning of time is a cycle, a creation cycle. That is time. We can say that is time, a cycle of creation. So time happens, that creation happens in time and creation is withdrawn in time. That is what maximum we can refer to it, right? So Swamiji says, every moment, a moment is born, a moment is gone. For a moment to be born. So very interestingly, he says all this, right? So like the moment is created, it is withdrawn by the Lord. Then another movement is created. Similarly, this entire cosmos is created and withdrawn and created and withdrawn continuously by the Lord. So he is the Lord of the time, past, present, and future. And hence, he is not bound by time at all. That is why he is eternal. And that's why he says, Adi Shankara says, Kala Bhedam Anadritya. Regardless of the difference in time periods like past, present, and future, Sanmatra Pratiyogikam, being of the nature of pure existence and pure consciousness, Aishwaryam Asya Prabhutvam. He dominates everything. Aishwaryam, Ishwarasya Bhavaha, lordship over everything, sovereignty over everything he has, and that is his lordship. And continuing his commentary, Puja Swamiji now takes up another aspect. He says, Brahman is Atma. Atma means the self, the limitless consciousness, which is timeless and which is in time also. Right? If we analyze time, we find that the past was always present. There was really no past, right? The past is the present thought. The future is also a thought in the present. The past was present and the future will be present, and the present, of course, is present. So all that we can say is the present implies a certain length of time. That's the maximum we can say. And then he goes on to say that the length of, what is the length of time of this present? He says the length of time also we cannot determine, because the present can be reduced to the present kalpa, which is present millennium, present century, present decade, present year, again further into the present hour, present minute, present second, present microsecond, and it can further be reduced mathematically. So when you say present, what are you referring to? What is the time period of present? It will come to zero. It will approach to zero. It may not come to zero. Mathematically, it will never come to zero. But you can keep on reducing it mathematically. So whenever we say, when we do the Sankalpa, Sweravaraha Kalpe, Vaivasvata Manvantare, we are all talking about the present time, present Kalpa, present Manvantara. What is that present? What is the meaning of that present? Actually, the more you inquire into the present vanishes. That's what happens. So, whenever we are thinking of time, we are thinking of time consciousness. Without the present of consciousness, there is no concept of time. So, the consciousness alone is present. And the truth of time is this timeless consciousness, which is eternity. And eternity is not in time. All, in Vedanta, when you come, especially when you read Puja Swamiji's commentaries, it's all so, look like very contradictory sometimes. He says the eternal time is sustained by the eternal timeless consciousness. What we call as eternal time is again not eternal time. It is sustained by the eternal consciousness, because consciousness is the only reality. Time also is mithya. Everything is mithya. What is there is only the absolute reality, Brahman. So the chronological time is entirely dependent on the limitless consciousness, which is what? Sachidananda. This is the truth of everything, the truth of time, and therefore the truth of Ishvara also. Time again is not self-existent, it is dependent on Ishvara. Then he goes on to say, light travels at 180,000 miles per second. Time and motion are based on this assumed constant, which is the speed of light. At least that was, I don't know whether any latest developments have taken place in this, but still time and motion are always calculated with reference to the speed of light. However, that itself is not constant as per Einstein's theory of relativity. Because when you talk of motion, it is relative. It is always when we talk of motion with reference to some other object only, some other thing only, it is in motion. So, when we talk of a pot, clay is present. When you talk of a shirt, there is fabric. When you talk of time, there is consciousness. When you talk of clay also, there is consciousness. When you talk of shirt also, we are talking of consciousness. When we talk of time also, we are talking of consciousness, because consciousness is the only thing which is the reality. So the only thing which is Satyam is Atma or Brahman, and that is Vishnu, and that is why he is Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu, past, present and future. He is timeless consciousness. That is the meaning of Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. We'll stop here and I'll say the prayers. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Namaskaram, Guruji.
Thank you,
Namaskaram.
Guruji.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you. See you next Sunday.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raghuji.
Thank you.
See you on Wednesday. Sanskritam class.
Sahasranamam class Wednesday.
We get to see you 4 times a week.
Yes.
It's a okay.
In fact, yesterday I made one announcement in Tattvaboda class. Some of you are not there. See, I'm going to start Bhagavad Gita classes from 24th of July, which is Guru Purnima Day. So I will be sending out the notices for registrations, as we did for Vishnu Sahasranamam also. So those who are interested, it will be on Saturdays, 6 to 7, same time as Vishnu Sahasranamam on Saturdays. So that is one sankalpa I had, and I hope that with the blessings of Puja Swamiji and also Ishwara, we can start and complete it. It will take.
So it's not the same time as Tattvabodha, Raghuji, but it's same time as Vishnu.
Change the time, because many people have requested that the Tattvabodha timing 7 to 8 is not convenient for many people. That's a dinner time for old, some of the senior citizens, especially Nana Nani and all that. So they said that why don't you make it 6 to 7? So, keeping their interest. Last time when I started Tattvabodha, somebody requested why don't you make it 7 to 8? In fact, I was planning 6 to 7 only. So at the request of those people, I made it 7 to 8. But then somebody from Singapore and all said that 7 to 8 means in Singapore it is 9:30 to 10:30. So we are not able to attend, and our sleeping time. So I thought, okay, somewhere we have to make some compromise and something. So Saturday 6 to 7 and Sunday 6 to 7 will be the classes for Vishnu Sahasranamam Bhagavad Gita. But this is just an announcement I am making. But in fact, Swami Sadatmananda, who is the Pradhana Acharya of Arshavidya Gurukulam Anaikatti, he has consented to inaugurate the Bhagavad Gita classes. And being Guru Purnima Day, he will also give a Anugraha Bhashanam on Guru Mahima. So he is the teacher from whom I learned Bhagavad Gita. So I requested him to, if possible, if time permits, inaugurate the class. Just for 10-15 minutes, I said, I won't take much of your time. It will be inaugural class on Guru Purnima Day. So he has agreed, he has consented that. So we will have those who will be joining have the advantage of listening to Swami Sadatmananda, who is the Shishya chosen by Puja Swamiji to replace him or to succeed him in the Anakatti Gurukulam. So you must imagine that he comes with the full blessings of Puja Swamiji, and which we have experienced. His teaching is so devoted to Puja Swamiji, and his teaching reflects Puja Swamiji's thoughts only, totally his interpretations. So I thought that I will use his teachings to teach Bhagavad Gita. Of course, following Shankara Bhashyam only, but I won't be taking Bhashyam full this thing. The interpretation of the slokas will be based upon the Bhashyam, Shankara Bhashyam, like what we are doing here in Vishnu Sahasranamam, like that. Okay.
And Tattva Bodha will continue at 7 to 8.
No, Tattva Bodha will be over by, I think, maximum 11th of July.
11th July.
I'll complete Tattva Bodha by. That's why, I was waiting for completion of Tattva Bodha to start Bhagavad Gita classes.
Okay.
So that, that will be a continuity for Tattva Bodha students also. Bhagavad Gita will be the next stage rather. From Prakarana Grantha, they will go to a Smriti Grantha. And understand what is said in those 700 slokas.
Raghuji, we'll have 1 week break then, right? 11th, so 18th.
Hopefully, if I'm able to complete on 11th, 1 week break. But by chance, if I'm not able to complete on 11th, then 18th we'll have Tattva Bodha class, and then 24th Bhagavad Gita. It depends upon it. Sometimes I tend to get into too many details, which initially I think I should avoid it, but then while the class is going on, it becomes, I get into example this, that, and all that. So mostly because at the present, I am thinking that I will require 3 more classes because I have started with the law of karma, so that I want to deal with it in a very elaborate manner. So 3 more classes, and then the final thing is there, where the author talks about what happens to when he says karmas of the jnani are finished. I mean, this I'm just giving you what happens to those karmas and all that. Are they really gone, or are they existing? And then they go and get attached to somebody else. So all those things he explains in the end. So we'll see that in the Tattva Bodha class. So my expectation is by 11th of July, I should finish Tattva Bodha with the last class. And then 18th, we will have one week break. And then 24th, I'm talking about 10th, 10th will be Saturday, Tattva Bodha. Then 17th will be the break day. And 24th, we will start Bhagavad Gita. That is the timetable for the present.
Thank you, Raghuji.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see you next Sunday. If there are any questions, please raise. Otherwise, I will close the session. Okay. And I presume there are no questions. Today's class was a little bit complex and complicated. But you just remember, take the meaning away. This is the meaning, all meaning of Parameshwara only, with different names and forms. Okay. Hari Om then. Thank you very much.